which the guys can sign up on my site with. One of the questions we got back from our readers was, back in your day, during your wrestling career, what was your best and your worst moment? I've always wanted to ask you about the David Arquette situation and what you thought about it.
Well, the David Arquette thing, that was just, that was bad booking. David didn't want to do that. People always bring that up, but David did not want to do that. That was Vince Russo's idea, not David Arquette. David was like, no way, I'm not doing that. There's no way in the beginning. But afterwards, after you realize, you know what, they want you to do it, dude, so you might as well embrace it. So all the people who bust balls about the David Arquette thing, everyone who busts balls on that, which are all fans, if any one of them were to ever be in David Arquette's position, every fucking one of them would have been jumping up and down like a fucking 12-year-old child, they would be getting the belt that night. And there's not one of those people on the internet that would go, oh no, I'm not going to do that for the integrity of wrestling.
Yeah, I'm going to make a stand.
Can you imagine that happening with any fan ever?
Oh,
I know, because I come to autograph signings all the time. I see full adult people walking around with world titles, fucking championship belts they want me to sign. Walking around like that, like they really want it.
That was the thing I noticed. You would go onto like a YouTube video of sometimes of different things, and people will be mentioning the DDP yoga, and I'd be commenting it back and forth, and then you would get this comment about, oh, I don't like him because of the David Arquette thing. It's just the most ludicrous.
You're a retard. I don't want you to like me. I
was doing the old face palm, the sort of, yeah, that's going to really just, he's not going to be able to enjoy his morning coffee. Some guy in the internet doesn't like him.
Oh, whatever. I get 2 words for them. Blow me. I don't really give a shit. It's called wrestling is predetermined. I didn't fucking say, hey, David, I think you should be the world champion. Are you fucking kidding me? That's called booking.
So,
it is what it is. It's a living. That's what the fuck it is,
So, I'm sure you agree that men have really gone downhill lately. It's this metrosexual environment. It's the, playing up to women. We've become feminized as a gender, really. Say if you had every single man lined up right in front of you, and you can do as much product placement just now as you want, what would you say to us? Say you had your, 3-minute, 5-minute DDP speech, you could say to every man, tell him exactly what you thought. What kind of milestones would you tell him? How would you get his butt?
When it comes to my workout, is that what you're talking about?
Well, how,
Or are you talking about wrestling?
Well, in life in general, how could you get guys better? What is it about your program?
It's like this. I know that the real men out there, been athletes their whole lives. They've been playing since they've been playing in the sand pit. Since they've been playing with that soccer ball, or in your country, from soccer ball to rugby to physical sports, tennis, all that stuff beats up your body. And as you're heading into your late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, your body's beat up. How do you hold back the hands of time? Look at me. Look what Diamond Dallas Page is doing today. If you go to ddpyoga.com and where I showed the video how I overcame my injuries, watch that video. See where I was beating the hell out of my body between 35 and 49. The highlights are all from 42 to 46. And then show what I'm doing at 55 years young. If that doesn't make you a believer, I really don't, then that is what it is. And then show them the Arthur video, the disabled veteran I helped walk again. Do you want the fountain of youth? Do you want to be able to hold back the hands of time? Well, I can show you. If you don't put the work in, though, I can't do it for you.
One of the most impressive thing about the DDP yoga is the Arthur video. Like you're saying about the guy that you I mean, the transformation he has is unbelievable. I mean, I can't do justification by just talking alone. I mean, you guys really have to go and see that. Can you tell us a little bit about Arthur, how you got involved with him, you know, how you came to find your product?
You know, he actually Googled, he had Googled zero impact, I think, and I can't remember something. I think he Googled. I don't know. He came across an article that said DDP was doing yoga years ago. He was like, "No way!" Like, he wasn't a wrestling fan, but if you were in the service in the military in the '90s, you know who friggin' Diamond Dallas Page is. So, long story short, he when you're in the Army, they watched wrestling all the time, so he knew who I was. And when he heard that, he had to check the article out. And eventually, it rolled him over to Yoga for Regular Guys, which became, of course, DDP Yoga. Long story short, I send out an email back then, in the original DVDs. I would send an email saying, "Hey, you know, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just would love to hear some feedback from you. I mean, you already bought the program. I said, I'd love to hear some feedback from you." And his is amazing. And then I could tell by reading his detailed, summary of what he'd written me. I was like, "You need some help." I said, "Where are you right now? Where are you physically?" And he told me that he was a disabled veteran. He's a paratrooper. Those paratroopers drop between 14 to 16 to 18 feet a second. I mean, they're dropping fast. Their goal is to get out of the sky as fast as possible so they don't get shot and killed. And after about 20 or 30 jumps, your body's going to be really fucked up. You know, especially when you hit your late 20s, 30s, and 40s, and so on.
With the G-force.
Yeah, right. Well, it's just ankles and knees together, just watching one of those guys dropping, what happened. He said he never walked away from a drop where he felt, "Wow, I didn't get hurt at all." Never. He always heard something. And if you look it up online, you'll see a lot of guys talking about that. And that's only with like 20, 30 jumps. He had over 500, and he was 14 years in. And he was going to retire because his body was just too fucked up. And long story short, he went to retire, and we had the first Gulf War, which he went. You know, he had to go. And they sent him home. He survived the helicopter crash. The next time he fell out of the sky, these guys didn't get back up again, and he ended up, being sent home permanently disabled. Because of that, knees, back, hips, the whole deal, he ended up, really 2 botched knee surgeries, and he ended up putting on weight, just piling on because he couldn't do any exercise. And he didn't realize it, but he was eating a lot of crap as well. Long story short, he's at 297 pounds, 5'6". He says he sees this thing for DDP Yoga and figures, well, let me give it a try. So I sent him, "Can you send me 2 pictures, picture of yourself so I can see what I'm looking at?" And he sent me these 2 pictures, and I was just like, oh my God. I didn't realize this guy had knee braces strapped into a back brace, and he was walking around wraparound canes around his wrists. He's been walking those canes for 15 years. So I sent him my phase 3 eating plan. It was just DVDs back then. Today it's a complete system. It shows you how to eat, what to eat, how to make it. It shows you how to set goals. I mean, it's all there. It gives you 10 different workouts and a tutorial. I mean, I break it down like as simplistically as possible. And long story short, Arthur ended up losing 140 pounds in 10 months. But the real importance of this is that he went from not being able to walk. According to doctors, he would never be able to walk unassisted with the knee braces, back brace, and wraparound cane. It just wasn't going to happen. But then again, those doctors don't really know how to promote healthy eating because they really don't. Most of them eat like shit. And they'd never seen my workout before. And yoga is just a piece of my workout. You know, it's just a piece. The reason why I kept it, and that's why I've been branding